All right, House of Payne fans, this was season 10, episode 4. Bat that thing up. This was a pretty good episode for what it was last night. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as last week's episode, though. I believe the core cast of this episode was Floyd, Ella, and CJ. Floyd, Ella, CJ, and Calvin. And I thought they did a good job holding down the fort with the episode itself. You know, we didn't have Lisa, Malik, or Curtis in this episode. But I feel like House of Payne is divisive. You know, I mentioned this before. Like, anytime I say I didn't like an episode, everybody's like, no, this was like the best episode ever. Last week I gave it a 10 out of 10. I don't think this was 10 out of 10 worthy. Overall, I would give this episode, and it hurts me to do it, about a 7 out of 10. Because while it did have some good messages in it, I do feel like this episode kind of really towed the line of being a bit preachy, soapboxy, PSA, and on the nose about certain topics of discussion. But let me just say this much. It is good to see this season really feeling like the original House of Payne, where it basically has a message in the script and how it relates to the audience, you know, specifically like the black audience. So let me just say that up front. CJ's reluctance of getting surgery and whatnot due to, you know, black people's history of rolling the dice when it goes to, you know, going to the hospital. It reminds me of that episode, and correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there an episode of Meet the Browns where Will had a patient who wanted a white doctor because he didn't want a black doctor, and the patient was black? So there was just a matter of going against the stereotype and accepting that black people can be competent doctors just like white people. So in any case, 7 out of 10. I know some people might disagree, but I think that's a solid score. So before going further, make sure you hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Hit the bell notification icon to select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post new content on the channel. And follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. So while Curtis is away on the barbecue tour that he's on, it looks like Floyd is helping around the house. You know, Floyd is pretty much filling up the gap that Curtis had. This reminds me of Sanford & Son, where, you know, Red Fox had a falling out with the studio and whatnot. So he decided to go on strike. And while Fred was away, Grady kind of became, you know, the other main character aside from Lamont. And those are some of my favorite episodes, especially the social security check episode. But yeah, Floyd is helping out with like shelves and whatnot for Ella, and you know, just helping out with the housework, because this actually is good continuity, because in the previous episode about the breast cancer and whatnot, or, you know, the tumor, you know, Miranda and Floyd said they would both pitch in to help out. That way, you know, Ella could potentially retire and, you know, like Curtis, just enjoy the, you know, rest of his life, as opposed to running yourself ragged for the service of others while neglecting your own happiness and, most importantly, your health. So CJ needs to be taken to the doctor, and, you know, Calvin's going to be the one to finish up the shelves in Ella and Curtis's bedroom. So Ella needs help editing a photo on her phone. Don't know what they're honking horns outside for. So Calvin helps her out, and I think it's funny because, like, Mom, it's easy. No, it might be easy for you. Wait, it cut my head off. When I tell you the relatability of this scene because of my own mom and technology and dad, this was a perfect scene. So CJ is back from the doctor. In a nutshell, it was more like natural healing, herbs and everything. And it's a chiropractor that he went to because of his back issues. And, you know, it was suggested that surgery be the main fix because it would lead to the most successful / effective results, as opposed to these alternate options he's been going through from herbs and, you know, different strategies and whatnot. And Floyd mentions how the smell from those herbs, you know, is pretty much, you know, burning the nose hairs out of his nostrils because of the funk. And I believe it was stated that, you know, Ella left some fabric in the car, and Calvin needed help with the shelves. So if he can grab the tablet out of Floyd's car, then he can get the information. Watch a YouTube video. Trust me, as somebody who does little projects like that myself, YouTube videos are a lifesaver. So Calvin goes out to the car because I think while he's out there, Floyd has his feet up and he's talking about the fact that, he had a situation one time with, BBW and that messed up his back. But, Calvin comes in and says, Floyd, man, something happened to your car. What do you mean? Yeah, everything's gone. My tablet, mom's fabrics and whatnot, CJ's herbs and everything. And Floyd runs out there to see what's going on. And due to the fact that he left a crack in his window, somebody broke into the car and took, again, Calvin's tablet, Ella's box full of things, CJ's herbs, and most importantly to Floyd, his Johnny Taylor tapes. But they pretty much get on Floyd about the stupidity of leaving a crack in your window, basically inviting somebody to break into your vehicle. And I felt kind of bad for him because it's like, yeah, it sucks that your stuff was taken too, but, his car was the one that was broken into and he lost something too. Sure, the CDs may not have been as expensive as the herbs, the tablet, or Ella's box of crafts and whatever, but he was the one, that was his vehicle. And like he said, he had to leave a crack in the window to let the funk from CJ's herbs get out the window. So there's that aspect of it. But then again, it's kind of ironic because in these Tyler Perry shows, it's the trope of all these doors being unlocked. And the thing about it is, I think Floyd said his doors weren't unlocked. It was just that crack in the window that allowed somebody to break in. So he said he filed a police report, but guys, just kind of get off my back. I lost stuff too, and filing the police report is the best thing I could do at the time. So then we skip a scene and CJ's in the backyard doing some sort of like yoga and stretches, and he doesn't want to go to surgery. He basically has a friend who went down to Mexico to get some shots, and that pretty much was effective in helping him heal from a similar injury to CJ. But ironically enough, he gets a phone call and it's from that friend, and he said, oh wow, okay man, keep your head up, I'll be praying for you. Basically, this friend who went to Mexico, he was fine for a few days after those shots, but now something went wrong and he's partially paralyzed. So CJ pretty much goes into the fact of why he's scared being a black man going under the knife due to the fact that it's just rolling the dice in America because of, things like the Tuskegee experiment, Henrietta Lacks. And what I liked about this, even though I do feel like this is probably why I gave the episode like a 7, it just felt like this was like, hey, we're going to stop the episode and give you a Black history lesson. Maybe I feel the way I feel because this really is relating to real life events. Like, first of all, the COVID vaccine, let's be honest here, that's like the most current instance of, oh yeah, black people being hesitant to take something that's created. We don't want to be guinea pigs and whatnot due to the bad history, black people have with, medical situations in America. And not to mention, if you watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Isaiah Bradley, the Tuskegee Airmen and whatnot from the MCU, same ordeal. Fun fact, I believe my mother is a descendant of Henrietta Lacks on my mother's side. And yeah, fun fact. So in any case, Floyd actually got the herbs from the store. He went back to get new herbs from for CJ. And thankfully, because I was going to rank the episode lower, but thankfully everybody apologized to Floyd for jumping on his case without realizing, hey, you lost things too. And I mean, it was your car that was broken into. So, I'm glad they all came to their senses there. And CJ decides to get the surgery. And it's like, apparently, like the place he goes to the chiropractor right next door is where the doctor is, where he'll get the surgery. And I like the fact that, hey, well, Ella's like, hey, yeah, go ahead and talk to the doctor, but make sure you talk to the doctor upstairs. I already did. You taught me well. I love that moment. That was a very good moment. So from there, we get to the end of the episode. Calvin got his tablet back because Laura actually activated the location app. And thanks to the help of the police, it only took a couple of days for it to track it down. And then I think CJ is like, wait, Laura has the location app on your tablet so she knows where you are? You must be in deep with her. Yeah, but I deactivated it after I got the tablet back. And they all chipped in, and they went ahead and gave a Johnny Taylor CD to Floyd. And I was like, that was a great way to end the episode. So guys, yeah, maybe I should give the episode an 8 out of 10 instead of a 7. But overall, I don't feel like this had the same level of subtlety as last week. But you could argue, well, Jeremy, they were kind of hammering in the whole situation with the breast cancer awareness and all. Yeah, but it felt better woven in. It didn't feel like the episode stopped so we could just tell us the statistics. I mean, they did do that, but I feel like in this episode specifically, it just felt like really like, hey, we're going to stop the script, throw in some history facts, and then, go from there. But again, that could just be me talking because of the fact that there have been so many references to, the Tuskegee Airmen and Henrietta Lacks and real world stuff in the past year due to the vaccine. But let me know, do you disagree? Do you think my score is too low? I mentioned this in my trailer breakdown for next week's episode, but I think Floyd is a great character because of the fact that even though he's the comic relief, you have a lot of straight men around him, like, Calvin, CJ, and even Ella. Not, she's not a man, but, I say straight man because you got Floyd, being random and funny, but at the same time, you got enough serious characters around him to balance it out. That way, it's not like season 9 where Floyd would. If Floyd had let's say this was season 9, Floyd would just go on like a 10-minute filibuster about some random story that's sort of funny, but not funny enough to last 10 minutes. And then that'll be half of the episode. But here they've condensed it where you got people to kind of stop him before he goes too far. But, I love how, what was it? He was just chilling back on the couch, his feet up on a pillow on the table. Then Ella comes by and snatches it off. I don't know why. I just thought that was pretty funny because, like, oh, you're getting a bit too comfortable up in here. So, in any case, guys, decent episode. I don't think it was as great as last week, but I still think it was solid overall. Let me know what you think. Hopefully, in the next episode, it looks like CJ's up and walking around, so it might be post-surgery. Who knows? So thanks so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App.